completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
With our weather extremes, I wanted windows that would stand the test of time. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and I found them. I love my Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass Windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. I was blown away. They're energy efficient and incredibly durable. 8 times stronger than vinyl, so they last. Experience the fiberglass difference in your home or in their new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
For over 25 years, you've counted on All Four Seasons for garage and entry doors. But we also specialize in replacement windows with a lifetime warranty. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Enhance your home's energy efficiency and curb appeal with a wide range of quality window options, backed by unparalleled service and craftsmanship. From garage doors to entry doors to windows, for every opening of your home, we've got you covered. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
A word of caution for motorcycle riders. Remember, 18-wheelers have bigger blind spots and it takes them longer to stop than a smaller vehicle. Eric Von Hassler here to remind you that if an 18-wheeler forces you to lay your bike down, you need to call in Steel Horse Law. Attorney George Stein is a motorcycle rider, and he understands bikers' needs. Get more info and request a free Rider's Advantage card at steelhorselaw.com.
Hey, it's Scott Slade with another big update from my friends at Myland. They've got a new mortgage available to those of you who own a rental home or investment property. This loan allows you to qualify based on the cash flow of the property. And that means you don't need to provide your income or employment like a traditional mortgage. It's special programs and industry knowledge like this that keep me talking about the abilities of my friends at Myland. Whether you're looking to buy a new home, refinance to lower your payment, or need to see how you can access the equity in your home to pay off other debts, do yourself a favor. Call my friends at Myland. Countless 5-star reviews and testimonials from homeowners just like you. Myland's been a top mortgage lender in Atlanta and a friend of mine for decades. Give Myland a call today. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS in Georgia residential mortgage licensee 148769. Located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard because Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then, your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. Hey, it's Eric Von Hassler, and here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Let's review. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday number 1. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Payday number 2, right there. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are, They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything,
President
sir.
Trump at an event last night. I do not doubt that a lot of countries are calling up the Oval Office and kissing his blank, looking to make a deal. But I think it's pretty apparent China is not one of those countries. The big news before we came on the air, China announcing reciprocal tariffs up to 84% now on goods imported from the U.S., which is still short of the 104% tariffs we are charging for goods imported in from China. Let's go to the White House. Elena Treen from CNN just moments ago about White House reaction to the China reciprocal tariffs.
Oh, well, look, I think when it comes to China in particular, John, one, we know that this is actually the country that the president feels the most strongly about as it relates to tariffs. And when we heard him speak this week from the Oval Office, he said that China is the worst offender. However, that doesn't mean that this administration does not want to negotiate with them at the same time. And I'm sure Mark can talk about this better than I can. China's been making clear that they do not want to negotiate, that they believe that the United States is not being fair in the escalation of these tariffs. However, we have heard from some of the president's top economic advisors this morning arguing that when it comes to a trade war between the United States and China, they are committed to believing that the United States will win. Listen to what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had to say this morning.
I think it's unfortunate that the Chinese actually don't want to come and negotiate because they are the worst offenders in the international trading system. They have the most imbalanced economy in the history of the modern world. And, I can tell you that this escalation is a loser for them.
I think a key question, of course, today is what really does a potential off-ramp to this trade war with China look like, if that is even something that the White House wants. I think it's clear, and the president, in my conversations with White House officials, Trump administration officials, they are clear in this idea of wanting to reset the table, as they've characterized it, with tariffs and the way that global trade is done. But at the same time, there's really not, particularly when it comes to China, if they're not going to negotiate, there's not really a clear roadmap for where to go from here, to maybe how to provide some relief on the increasing tariffs, the 104% tariffs from the United States, the 84% from China. Where does that end up? Where does the end game with China? That's still a key question I think the White House is figuring out.
Elena Treen moments ago outside of the White House. Dow futures, again, the market's about to open in 4 minutes. Not terrible, not great. Dow Jones down 375 points. NASDAQ just down 20 points. Once the market's open, we'll update that. After news, weather, and traffic, we're going to go to Beijing, China, and get reaction from the Chinese government on those reciprocal tariffs. But I do want to update that dire wolf story we brought to you from yesterday. New development here, Deborah.
Some experts are saying, wait, the company claiming they brought back the dire wolf from extinction is not completely true. Colossal Biosciences were able to birth 3 dire wolf puppies from old DNA. But genetic experts are saying, when you have DNA that old, it's not really complete, and they had to mix it with another gray wolf. So it's really just a hybrid. We might not be getting that mammoth back after all.
Yeah, it's like a genetically modified gray wolf. But time will tell once these wolf puppies grow up to see if they become huge dire wolves or they're just like a funky version of the gray wolf. I saw someone post on social media, relating to Jurassic Park. They mixed the dino DNA with, I think it was frog DNA. And, those weren't genetically modified frogs. That was a velociraptor. So time will tell with the dire wolf puppies. I just can't wait for those woolly mammoths, the mastodons, the big uns. Very excited about that. All right, Cheryl's going to give you your news, weather, and traffic in a couple of minutes. We'll come back more on the Chinese tariffs and why I think this is the big headline moving forward in the trade war. It's the U.S. versus China. That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
The Scott Antique Markets is back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285 exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit ScottAntiqueMarket.com for more information.
As we found out over the last week and a half, the stock markets absolutely hate uncertainty. Do you know what I hate to be uncertain? My Wi-Fi strength. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Xfinity. Thankfully, with Xfinity, no uncertainty when it comes to my Wi-Fi connection at home or on the go. Xfinity, by the way, has over 20 million Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide. 20 million plus. So if you're traveling, you're a traveling man or woman, you can often hook up with an Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspot. And in-home, it's unbeatable. It's so amazing, the amazing strength of Xfinity Internet and Wi-Fi. They have engineered their Wi-Fi to connect up to 100 devices at once, at one time, over 100 devices. Uncertainty stinks on the stock market. Uncertainty stinks when it comes to Wi-Fi. Don't be uncertain about your Wi-Fi coverage. Jump on board the Xfinity family with me. Get all the details online at Xfinity.com. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit your store today.
So how do we create value? This is Greg Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. Value comes from having complete control over our product quality. From design to manufacturing to delivery, everything is handled in-house by our trained professionals. This approach allows us to maintain strict quality standards and respond quickly to customer needs. We believe true value is created when a company takes full responsibility for its products. When you choose OMF, you're getting a mattress built with care and attention at every step. OriginalMattress.com.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for The Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
Good morning at 9:30. I'm Cheryl Castro. Our top story, it is all about your money. Wall Street opens in the red again as the opening bell sounds. The stock futures had been sinking all morning after massive U.S. tariffs against China kicked in overnight, followed by China retaliating with that huge tariff increase on U.S. imports. Right now, the Dow down about less than 1%, about 0.5% lower for the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ's actually about a fraction of a point higher right now. Well, Atlanta-based Delta Airlines pulls its 2025 guidance as the tariffs and trade wars scramble expectations. Delta says it'll reduce capacity given economic conditions.
I think we're acting as if we're going to a recession. I think everyone is going into a defensive posture. Our announcement, we're taking second half growth out of our plan for the back half of the year. We're planning to grow about 4%. Now it's going to be flat.
Delta CEO Ed Bastian says things have stalled, and until there's clarity, the economy will lose steam. In the first quarter, Delta's adjusted profit did beat analysts' expectations. Revenue came in at $13 billion, roughly in line with estimates. Some Georgia child care teachers and staff may soon be eligible for a $500 bonus as recognition for their dedication and hard work. The Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning is launching the Quality Rated Workforce Bonuses initiative to support and reward early education professionals. O'Grady Health System breaks ground today on a new freestanding emergency department coming to South Fulton County.
The new 20,000 square foot facility will be located in the 5600 block of Campbellton Fairburn Road. Once complete, it will provide 24/7 care and feature 16 treatment bays, imaging and lab services, and a pharmacy. Union City Mayor Vince Williams says emergency care has been a dire need for the area since the 2022 closure of Wellstar Atlanta Medical Center.
Access to quality health care has been a huge concern.
The facility will not handle trauma services. Those patients will still need to go to Grady Memorial in downtown Atlanta. It is slated to open in the fall of 2026 and will cost about $38 million. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Meta announces new safeguards for teens who use Instagram. The tech company says teens under age 16 will not be able to use the live feature without their parents' permission. Instagram will also require parental permission to turn off the feature that blurs suspected nudity in DMs. Now, Meta will also offer teen accounts for Facebook and Messenger that provide similar protections. There are now 54 million teens around the world with Instagram teen accounts since launching last year. You know that sound. Metallica teaming up with the American Red Cross for blood drives on their spring tour. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Charity Foundation, All Within My Hands, will be hosting the drives at or near the venues where they will be performing. Speaking of which, the band has a show June 3rd at the Atlanta Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Fans who donate blood will be getting a free limited edition t-shirt. And Dunwoody begins paving 23 streets covering 10 miles. The city is using $2.75 million in SPLOST funds to cover that cost. The Georgia DOT is also providing some of the funding. City of Dunwoody says by the end of 2029, it's going to complete resurfacing of all city streets. That fulfills a commitment made by city founders to achieve a 20-year paving cycle. It's now 9:33, time to check traffic and weather. We begin with Mike Shields live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
And Cheryl, roadwork setting up on the east side perimeter in the left lane into DeKalb County. I-285 northbound, the outer loop at Glenwood Road, exit 44, causing delays now as you start to leave I-20. I-20 slow with roadwork in DeKalb County at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Right lane blocked in the through lanes, the left lane blocked in the collector distributor ramp once again there. Also watch out for police starting traffic in Dunwoody at Hammond Drive at Perimeter Center Parkway due to crash and wire repair. They're underway now in Dunwoody. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. 68 with sunshine this afternoon. Tomorrow, low 49, high 74. Strong and potentially severe storms late Thursday evening into Thursday night.
And right now, sunshine, 47 degrees in Duluth, 49 in Stonecrest, 48 degrees in Mableton. More news at 10 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Get the WSB radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB radio app, then you saw the breaking news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
Another domino just fell. The European Union now fighting back with more reciprocal tariffs on the United States. We'll get you caught up to date on that developing story next on The Mark Arum Show.
Spring storms can dump a lot of rain in a short amount of time, flooding your crawl space and generating mold. Dry it out with American Crawl Space Solutions, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too.
It's the active season here in the ATL. Are you going to be active or inactive because of chronic joint pain? Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at QC Kinetics. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Atlanta are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. With QC Kinetics, the science solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Get out and be active this summer. Golfing, swimming, tennis. Heck, pickleball seems to be picking up speed. Get out there and be active. Don't let your chronic joint pain hold you back. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. Consultation totally free, and they're happy to take a look and see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now, the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026 for QC Kinetics.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
9:37 on what is becoming an increasingly busy Wednesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. I forgot to mention at the top of the show, Christopher Farrar is an actor, young actor. He's in the new Amazon Prime movie G20 that drops tomorrow. He's going to join us live in the 11 o'clock hour. Deborah's got more tickets to give away to see Andrea Bocelli, October 11th at Gas South Arena. Updating the latest tariff news. The European Union has announced tariffs of 21 billion euros on U.S. goods in a metals dispute. That's just breaking the last couple of minutes. So not only did China announce reciprocal tariffs, apparently our trading partners in Europe have announced at least some sort of reciprocal tariff on goods, U.S. goods in a metals dispute. I'll try to get more information on that. The market's just opened, by the way, and they're down. Dow's down, Nasdaq's up. We'll monitor that. We'll see what's going to happen. Most experts thought once that China hit back with those 84% reciprocal tariffs that the Dow would drop today. But as we've seen the last couple of days, it's an up and down ride. You might look at 10 a.m. and it's way down. You come back at 1 p.m. It's way up. As I said, just treat it like the last 2 minutes of an NBA game. It doesn't matter until the last 2 minutes. It doesn't matter until the last 2 minutes of the markets. So if you're curious about that, that's when you tune in to see. But part of my duties as a talk show host on 95.5 WSB is to update the markets for you between 9 a.m. and noon, and I will continue to do that. All right, reciprocal tariffs from China. This to me is it's the elephant in the room. It's the big story when it comes to tariffs because, listen, the United States and China are the two global superpowers. I know Russia's got nuclear bombs and Vladimir Putin likes to, walk the walk and talk, but it's a two-headed monster right now on planet Earth. It's the United States and China. We are the two global superpowers. Ironically enough, we are in an extremely symbiotic relationship with our Chinese cousins, meaning they need us and we need them. So much stuff we get from China. I don't want to think about a world where we can't get anything from China. We need them. They give us stuff. They give us cheap stuff. They give us, stuff that if it was made in the United States would cost exponentially more. We need these Chinese goods. On the other hand, China absolutely needs the United States just as much. With as much stuff as they import to the United States, sure, they can, increase exports to the European Union and China or Russia and Africa and Southeast Asia. Sure, they can find other trading partners. But there's not a nation as rich as the United States. There's not another nation that buys as much stuff as the United States. So at the end of the day, we need China and China needs us. And the question is, when are our leaders going to realize that? When are they going to understand, listen, if you're a Chinese worker right now, or if you're a Chinese bureaucrat, they're freaking out about this as much as we are. They've got all these goods, these electronics, the clothes that they manufacture. They're freaking out just as much as we are, going, oh, what are we going to do? We've got 10,000 San Antonio Spurs T-shirts we got to ship somewhere. No one's going to buy them in India. No one's going to buy them in Germany. What are we going to do with all these tchotchkes we make? We've got 500,000 Statue of Liberty Christmas tree ornaments. What are we going to do with them? Canada's not going to. They're just as freaked out about this trade war as we are. It's a completely symbiotic relationship. You have to understand that before you go into any sort of negotiation. Is there room for negotiation? Absolutely. As I said yesterday, we need to be exporting more foodstuffs to China. They've got 1 billion people to feed. We've got the fruited plains. We grow the best stuff. Sounded like Trump. We have the best vegetables. We have the best pork products. There's room to negotiate, but neither country can get by and survive without each other. We truly, listen, I know you're like, buy American. Yeah, I love to buy American too. There's just some stuff that we can't buy. Actually, it just occurred to me. I heard a story on the morning news about people hoarding stuff. This one guy, he bought like 20 gallons of olive oil because he's worried about the tariffs on Italian oil. And I just occurred to me, I don't know. Is Vinny in there? I don't see it. Vinny, this is not an important thing for anyone but me. Can you find out where my Brute deodorant is made? It's got the little umlauts over the U, so I'm thinking maybe it's made in Europe. That might be something I order on Amazon real quick. I'm very brand loyal to Brute deodorant. So I don't need 20 gallons of olive oil, but I might need 20 deodorant sticks. Brute by Fabergé. Oh, it's French, right? Deborah, translate for me. Brute by Fabergé. Isn't that
Is
French?
that French?
It's
Could
French
be.
sounding. Maybe French Canadian. I don't know.
Fragile.
Brut by Fabergé by Menon. All right, so I'm sorry about that. Vinny, just let me know where my Brut deodorant is manufactured because I might have to stock up on that. All right, back to China. Let's, in fact, go to China. Mark Stewart in Beijing this morning, immediately after China announced those reciprocal tariffs. What are we hearing from mainland China, Mark?
Let's first talk about the timing about all of this because it is a bit curious. It was made at 7 o'clock in the evening here, 7 o'clock in the morning where you are in New York, about 2.5 hours before the markets opened. Was this deliberate? Was this coincidence? I'll put it this way. If we're talking about a trade war where the biggest weapon in all of this is money, a tariff announcement is certainly something that could move markets. And there are people on Chinese social media who are actually cheering this move by China to retaliate at the time it did before the market opened. Again, another day of very strong, stern responses by China toward the U.S., calling the latest move by the U.S., the additional tariffs, mistake upon a mistake, saying that it's going to damage the global trading system. It's important to note that these latest tariffs imposed by China are really going to hurt the heartland of America. They're going to hurt farmers. They're going to hurt the agriculture industry, which are so vital to the American economy. China, despite some of the economic woes that it may have, is standing very strong, sending a message that it will be in this for the long haul. Let's hear from a government official speaking just a few hours ago from here in Beijing.
External shocks cannot alter the fundamental strengths of China's economy, its stability, abundant advantages, resilience, and great potential.
I want to talk about a point that Elena brought up and that the Treasury Secretary brought up. When will China and the U.S. actually sit down and talk about this? At this point, Beijing is being very defiant, saying that the U.S. is not acting in a genuine way to sit down and have such a serious conversation as this. We heard from an analyst just a few weeks ago who really raised the question, who is going to fold first? And I can tell you from my spot here in China, China does not want to budge. In fact, it is going to continue with this theme that it does not want the U.S. to tell it what it can and cannot do. It's a theme that we've seen in TikTok and now here, John, in this trade dispute.
Mark Stewart in Beijing this morning, moments after the reciprocal tariffs were announced. Again, the European Union levying 21 billion euro tariffs in some sort of a metals disagreement with the United States. Still trying to get more information on that. That being said, in the last couple of minutes, I don't know if I missed something, but the Dow, literally, I just refreshed it. NASDAQ was, there it is. NASDAQ's up $127. Dow's down a little, which is better than it was like 3 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on in the European markets, but they're all down over 3.5%. So our trading partners, so they're not taking too kindly to what's going on with the tariffs there. Quick update, Vinny. Bag of donuts, Brut by Fabergé, manufactured where, my friend?
Okay, so it's manufactured in Canada, but it's distributed from El Paso, Texas.
All right, so they import it from Canada. Yeah, I'm nervous now. I'm going to jump on Amazon during the next break and order a case of my it's the only deodorant I can use. I have tried others. I can't do it. I'm not paid to say this. The cylindrical canister, and not antiperspirant, just deodorant. Because I'm not a big sweater. I'm not, except when I mowed the lawn. I haven't sweated a lot. All right, Brut.
Wait, I got one more update.
Yeah,
it says Brut is a trademark of Kaz Europe Sorrel, which is out of Switzerland.
Oh, obviously. Oh,
so maybe you good.
My wife's in Switzerland right now.
Have Maya bring you
some. Maya.
Get an extra suitcase, fill it up.
Originally, I said, bring me back some chocolates from Switzerland. But now I want Brut by Fabergé. Just a case of it, Maya. You can handle it. They won't give you any grief at customs. Speaking of tariffs, how the tariffs are impacting our hometown Coca-Cola. Deborah will tell us about that after a quick break. Let's check the ride around town, though, at 9:48 on the Mark Arum Show. How are the roads right now, Mike Shields?
Yeah, overall, not too bad, Mark, but we do have our slow zones, like in Woodstock with road work on the right shoulder. That's slowing you down right now. 575 southbound, getting past Highway 92, exit 7. Also slowing to Cobb County, no surprise. Daily road work, I-20 eastbound at Westlake Chapel Road, exit 68. Right lane blocked in the through lanes, left lane blocked on the CD ramp, and that has you slow on 285 eastbound before Flat Shoals approaching the East Freeway. This support is brought by Whole Foods Market. Find seafood savings at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off sustainable wild-caught fresh halibut fillets with Prime through April 15th while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Traffic out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard, 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, it's Scott Slade from my roofer, FGA Roofing. If your neighbor's designer roof has caught your eye, search FGA Roofing. And for a limited time, get $1,000 off your final quote if you mention you heard about it on the radio. Search FGA Roofing. That's FGA Roofing. And ask about 0% financing.
When divorce places your home, finances, or kids in jeopardy, Cordell & Cordell is here to fight to protect your interests. Cordell & Cordell is committed to advocating for your rights in divorce and family law matters. Call today for a consultation and details on our military service member pricing.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Atlanta area attorneys. 404-793-0000. 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Suite 975, Atlanta, Georgia 30328. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Clean the spring pollen and allergens out of your home the easy way with the Zero-Res Air Duct Experts. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get 50% off your next air duct cleaning. Just use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroResAtlanta.com.
Men. Trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
So many different seasons here in Metro Atlanta. It's pollen season, severe weather season, tax season, etc., etc., etc. Let me add a new season. Regrow your hair season. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Advanced Hair. Amazing facility, amazing physicians, and even better, amazing results. Quick, simple, one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. Not a pill or a lotion that helps you just keep what you have on your head. Where your hair's gone, it regrows thanks to my friends at Advanced Hair. Unbelievable. If you want your hair back now, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Just takes one visit, but first, guys, you need a free consultation. Schedule now. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Advancedhair.com.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people. Without destroying your credit, they can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
9:53 on the Mark Arum Show, monitoring the tariff news, getting more information about the European tariffs that were just announced. Deborah's going to tell us how the tariffs might impact our hometown Coca-Cola, but some breaking news during the commercial break, at least on this side of the microphone.
Where is Hector?
Deborah, I just ordered $160 worth of my deodorant. I got 5 8-packs of the Brute Deodorant Stick Original Fragrance, 2.5 ounces. And it's the same. I last ordered them in 2023, and I'm happy to say that inflation has not hit my deodorant. It's the same price as it was 2 years ago. So I'm going to smell good for the foreseeable future, thanks to my friends at Brute Fabergé. All right, Vicky Barker from London going to update us on the new breaking tariff news from the European Union.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. The EU has just voted to impose retaliatory tariffs on $24 billion worth of American goods, slapping duties of 10 to 25% on a range of U.S.-made products, including tobacco, motorcycles, poultry, steel, and aluminum. The levies will be phased in over the next few months, beginning next week, leaving the door open for possible negotiations with the Trump White House.
There's Vicky Barker in London. All right, more information. Duties of 10 to 25% on a range of U.S.-made products, including tobacco, motorcycles, poultry, steel, and aluminum. Poultry's a big one there. Deborah, you're in Europe all the time. Do Europeans smoke American cigarettes?
Ooh.
Is that a big thing?
European smoke. I know. Europeans
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
cigarettes.
Do they we love Marlboros? We got to have our Marlboro. Is that something that you don't? I'm sorry. Put you on the spot.
I don't remember. I just know that everybody smokes in Europe.
All right. Yes, that is true. Possible negotiations with the Trump White House, as Vicky Barker just reported in London. All right, more tariff news, this time locally. Hometown Coca-Cola. Is there going to be an impact, Deborah?
Tariffs are coming for our Coca-Cola. Just a couple of months ago, when they were mentioning tariffs, Coke said, they were going to have a plan. They'll focus on plastic and glass to avoid any costs around aluminum. But Coca-Cola also rely on China for a sweetener that they use in all of their drinks. So with that tariff slapped on, along with the aluminum cost, you could see the price of your soda going up very soon.
A sweetener. Might this be the time that Coca-Cola plants their flag and says, you know what, we're getting rid of all the sweeteners, the corn syrups, and every single Coke that rolls off the thing is the beloved Mexican Coke, right? Which is so much better than, it's the Coke we grew up with. I don't know when corn syrup started being used by Coca-Cola or all.
Coke?
Yeah, like the old, like we grew up with the sugarcane Coke, and that's what they have in Mexico. Which, by the way, is the only Coke that's kosher for Passover, I believe.
Oh.
So you'll see your Hebrew brothers and sisters at your local grocery stores during Passover, which is coming up this weekend, I believe, getting that Mexican Coke. It's so much better. It's delicious.
Mexican sugar tariffed as well?
Yeah.
Oh, dagnab. No, I think you can. It doesn't have to be Mexican sugar. It just has to be sugar. Like, I don't think the sugar.
Yeah, but isn't it produced?
Yeah, but it's grown down there. There's a lot of sugar fields down there.
Yeah, perhaps. And in Cuba, there's sugar fields, and yeah, we have sugar here, though, right?
Yeah, there's sugar in Texas.
Yeah. So I think it's called Mexican Coke because that's the only type of Coke that's sold in Mexico is the pure cane sugar, Coca-Cola. Maybe again, I'm not giving marketing advice to the world's biggest brand, but if now's ever a time to get a silver lining out of these tariffs, to be like, we're getting rid of the corn syrup, sugarcane Coke for everybody.
Gulf of America Coke.
You know what? Actually, Deborah, if we're still doing my platform, my political platform, maybe, yeah, I can't say Mexican Coke on there. It might,
no.
But sugarcane Coke, like real sugar Coca-Cola for everybody. I don't know. Let me noodle. Don't put that on my official platform yet, but let me just think about that. All right, Sabrina's got your latest tariff news. She's going to check the markets for you so I don't have to. When we come back, a lot of movement on the tariffs, China, EU. Tom Smith, a professor at Goizeta Business School, is going to join us live after this quick break. Still to come, Deborah's got tickets to give away. We're going to be joined by actor Christopher Farrar from the new movie G20, and the socials active at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
When your termite bond renewal comes in the mail, do you cringe wondering, how much more are they going to charge me now? Switch to Breda Pest Management and your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. If your termite service doesn't inspect inside, how do you know you're protected? With Breda, you get total peace of mind that your home is termite-free inside and out, and your termite rate is locked in for 10 full years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, folks, it's Shelley Winter here. You know, sometimes they make fun of me around the office because I doze off at my desk while doing show prep. Well, you know why that happened? It's because of a lack of sleep. I have sleep apnea. So if you snore or have sleep apnea also, you're not living life to the fullest. So listen up. I know you're tired, but in all seriousness, this is important. My friends over at Palmetto Sleep are changing lives with a custom-fit oral appliance that stops your snoring and treats sleep apnea. I'm not talking about something you buy out of a supermarket. This is a custom-made for your mouth and covered by your private medical insurance. What I love most is that they do everything from the diagnosis to the delivery of the oral appliance and everything in between. They even provide a take-home sleep study and virtual consults. If you're ready for a great night's sleep, you are ready for Palmetto Sleep. Go to palmettosleep.com. That's palmettosleep.com right now. Don't suffer from another sleepless night. palmettosleep.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Dr. Roof. We're going to start with this, a dramatic escalation in the trade war. The European Union this morning imposing up to a 25% tariff on the United States. So that would include items like tobacco, motorcycles, poultry, steel, and aluminum. And China retaliated to Trump's 104% tariff with an 84% tariff on the United States. With even more tariffs taking effect this morning, North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis is raising concerns.
I mean, my God, it's a stability issue. You know, businesses hate uncertainty. We've got a lot of uncertainty.
And the Georgia Chamber of Commerce has released a new report for the Georgia business community as the impact of new tariffs sets in.
Last year, Georgia was 7th in the nation for net exports, and the overhaul of U.S. trade policy is rattling some business leaders here in the Peach State. Chamber President and CEO Chris Clark says that mainly has to do with economic uncertainty.
When you continue to change the rules, or when we're trying to figure out new market changes or other countries are imposing new restrictions, it creates a lot of uncertainty, and businesses don't thrive well in uncertain times.
He's urging the business community to think about their long-term strategy and is cautioning against overreacting. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so let's take a look at the markets right now. We are in the green. The Dow's up 191 at 37,837. So the Dow's up 0.5%. NASDAQ's up more than 1.5%, and the S&P's up almost a full percent here in the 10 o'clock hour. Now, your weather. What can you expect today? Sunny skies with an afternoon high of 68, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. Dunwoody starting a major paving project. 23 streets will be paved, covering 10 miles. It's being mostly paid for by SPLOST. The Georgia DOT also providing some of the funding. The city says by the end of 2029, they'll complete resurfacing all city streets, fulfilling a commitment made by city founders to achieve a 20-year paving cycle. Delta CEO Ed Bastian is warning of economic turbulence as the Atlanta-based airline issues its first quarter earnings today.
The airline still anticipates an overall profit this year, but isn't reaffirming its previously projected annual earnings of more than $7.35 per share.
We're taking second half growth out of our plan for the back half of the year. We're planning to grow about 4%. Now it's going to be flat.
Delta CEO Ed Bastian tells CNBC it's hard to predict the impact of policies on business.
I think we're acting as if we're going to a recession. I think everyone is going into a defensive posture.
The airline's adjusted profit did beat analyst expectations. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A $500 bonus is on the way to some Georgia child care teachers and staff. The bonuses coming from the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. Their new initiative called Quality Rated Workforce Bonuses will distribute an annual bonus to eligible staff members at quality rated child care providers. This program is among the first of its kind in the nation. Now let's talk about your health. If you work the night shift, when you eat may actually help protect your heart. A new study shows night shift workers who only ate during the daytime hours had better cardiovascular health than those who ate during both day and night. Researchers say daytime eating exclusively helps readjust your internal body clock. The study is in the journal Nature Communications. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay joining us now with a look at your roads.
Good morning, Sabrina. The construction on the east side causing slow zones. Number 1 on 285 heading to the airport out of Tucker and Clarkston. Be aware of the brake lights. 285 southbound past left lane construction at Covington Highway. And the right lanes of 285 east and north are crowding up, leaving Boulder Crest Road up to the I-20 interchange. Slow transition onto that collector distributor ramp and on I-20 proper with road work being done between I-285 and Wesley Chapel. Slow through the work zone westbound. It's sluggish from Stonecrest, Lithonia to 285 and picking up some brake lights now past Six Flags on I-20 East, approaching Fulton Industrial Boulevard exit 49. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Headed to 68 with sunshine today. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, low 49, high 74. The risk for some strong and potentially severe storms coming in late Thursday evening and Thursday night.
And WSB Storm Tracker radar is clear. We have sunny skies and 51 degrees in Dunwoody. It's 50 in Villa Rica, Loganville. You have 50 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole gang with us today. Deborah Green, the executive producer of the show. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Bag of Donuts screens your call. Still to come, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Andrea Bocelli. Shocking amount of debt Americans are currently holding on their credit cards. We're going to check in with correspondent Rory O'Neill. And, of course, we're going to update our top local stories. The big story today, though, reciprocal tariffs announced. Before he came on the air at 9, China says, 84% tariffs now on any American goods shipped to China. EU in the last hour has announced tariffs on a number of goods imported from the United States. Let's go and continue our in-depth coverage on all of these tariff news. Joining us live from the Goizeta Business School, it's Tom Smith. Professor Smith, good morning. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You got to be dizzy with all this tariff news. Absolutely dizzy.
Yeah, I was literally just teaching a class on international trade, and my students are telling me, as I'm teaching, oh, by the way, China just did this, European Union's voting on this. Yeah, things are changing very, very fast.
I guess let's start there, Professor, on the tariff news that broke this morning, the reciprocal tariffs from China, up to 84% now, and the new tariffs imposed by the European Union.
Yeah, it's going to make all types of goods in the United States much more expensive. And, if the goal is to try to bring back manufacturing, you're not going to accomplish this. You have to remember, there's some goods that are made in China that we just can't get here. Rare earth minerals, they're rare. That's where they are. It's not as if we can go find them in Arkansas or something. It is certainly a shake my head moment.
I've heard some experts refer to this as the new world order, which is, kind of striking. But is that what we're looking at now when it comes to global trade, a new world order?
I don't think it has to be, right? I think people who are saying that are trying to anticipate what's likely to happen. What could also happen is that cooler heads prevail, and people recognize that these tariffs are going to be really negatively impactful on consumers, and say, okay, let's go back to the negotiating table. How do things get so out of hand?
And as far as impacting consumers, like here in the Metro Atlanta area, new tariffs went into effect today. What are our listeners going to see? What items will be impacted by the tariffs? Do we have any foresight into what the impact these tariffs will have for us here in North Georgia?
Well, I think that a lot of your listeners are going to go shop at Target. A lot of them are going to go to the Kroger, the Publix, or their grocery store. And so they'll absolutely see the goods that they're going to buy at Target at, another 5% higher than they would have otherwise. Grocery prices are going to go up. I think this is going to hit consumers in the wallet, and they're going to recognize it immediately. They're going to say, oh, my gosh, last week these same things may have cost me $80, and now they're costing me $100. This isn't good for my budget. What's going to happen next? And then what could happen next is we fall into an economic recession.
So that's not off the table, the R word, a recession.
No, I mean, last week I think Goldman came out with a prediction, right, 60%. I think people are now reevaluating the likelihood of a recession. Personally, I don't like to put numbers on that because we're not playing a game of roulette or something. But these are people's lives that we're talking about here. This is your livelihood. I think that likelihood of a recession is incredibly high and growing.
Professor Tom Smith from the Goizetta Business School joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show, and checking the Asian markets, the European markets. This tariff war, this trade war, is having a global impact, right? It's not just us here in the United States are feeling the effects of these back and forth tariffs.
No, it's a great observation. Yeah, we live in a global economy, and when we put tariffs, the United States puts tariffs on other countries, and they retaliate, this is going to impact supply chains, all across the globe, right? And you had mentioned just a second ago about how it's going to impact maybe us here in Georgia and around Atlanta. Well, we've got a very robust agricultural community, one of the biggest pecan performing states in the United States. And if China decides that they're not going to buy pecans anymore, then our Georgia farmers are going to be out lots of money, and that's not going to be good for them. They could start defaulting on loans, and then now all of a sudden you find yourself in a financial crisis as well.
I'm glad you brought up China. Earlier in the show, I tried to highlight the symbiotic relationship that the United States has with China. I can't foresee a world where we survive without Chinese goods, and I don't see China surviving without the United States buying their goods. So at some point, knowing that we need each other as trade partners, does that open the table for negotiations?
Again, these are just really great points that you're bringing up, and I think a lot of people maybe skim over these. So we send a lot of soy to China, and they use the soy to feed hogs and pigs because that's a really big part of their economy, agricultural economy. That's how they feed their population. But they're buying our soy in order to feed their pigs for food, right? That's a huge impact on our soy farmers, again, with our pecan farmers. And then on the flip side, as you just mentioned, you go into Target, you want to buy a new shirt, that's going to come from China. You're going to buy a pair of shoes. You're going to buy your iPhone. Those are being manufactured in China, right? Your Calphalon pans, your eyeglasses, right? I mean, even perhaps the windshield wiper that you're putting on your car this weekend. All that stuff is coming from China. How can we exist in an economy that doesn't have those goods coming in? I don't know.
I want to know, since this is your area of expertise, you mentioned you were just teaching a class on this. Historically, history has told us, at least from my research, that tariffs can end really badly for the country that's implementing them. Historically, what impact have tariffs had on the United States economy, on the global economy?
Yeah, I mean, when you have restrictive trade, it can depress the GDP of both countries who are involved in those trade agreements. Now, I think it's also important to note that if you have very targeted tariffs in specific industries, you really could propel some domestic production in those industries. And if engaged in thoughtfully, methodically, carefully, pragmatically, you could actually have a tariff policy that could improve U.S. manufacturing. But you'd also then have to supplement that with incentives, right? Make some loans available. Invest in. You have to have the government invest in those states in those kind of goods and services. So you could actually have an effective tariff policy, but the way that we're implementing it historically has not worked well for either country on either side of the equation.
Final and perhaps most important question for you, Professor. Can you assist me in getting an honorary doctorate from the Goizueta Business School? I'm dying. My wife's got the doctorate. I need to get. I'm not smart enough to get my own. I need one of those honorary things. Can you help facilitate that?
You might have to talk to Usher. He's delivering our keynote address for our graduation. Our wonderful students are going to have an awesome opportunity to hear from an amazing performer and a philanthropist and somebody who has made great contributions. So, Mark, you keep doing what you're doing, and I'll put in a good word for you.
Please, yeah, and I don't need to get paid. I'm sure Usher is going to want a green room and all these things. I'll show up. I'll give a speech. Just give me the parchment, and I'm out of there.
Yes, well, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And, of course, congratulations to all our amazing Emory students. It's going to be such a nice day. It's going to take place in a couple of weeks. So we're looking forward to it. Mark, I'll see if I can get you an invite, but I cannot guarantee the degree.
Yeah, in the future. And, don't they have, winter graduation ceremonies? Give me in one of those off graduation ceremonies that I could speak at.
Let me look into that. Look into that.
Hey, Professor Tom Smith, really appreciate your insight and your time. Thank you so much. I'm going to make this happen, Deborah. I'm going to make it happen. That would actually look really fancy on the wall. The honorary doctorate from the Goizueta Business School. I mean,
Ooh.
Maya would have to respect that, right?
Sure. Yes, I'm sure she would.
Yeah, I'm just thinking off the cuff here. So some of the celebrities that have given these graduation speeches that get the honorary doctorates, right? Some of them have fallen out of favor. I'm thinking like Bill Cosby, right? Bill Cosby has given I'm sure he gave a ton of graduation speeches. He gets a ton of honorary doctorates. Maybe I do some research and go to the schools that gave Cosby an honorary doctorate and be like, hey, I've got no skeletons in my closet. Let me give the graduation speech. Or is that a bridge too far?
I'm only 2% corrupt.
I'm only 2% corrupt. Exactly right. Speaking of the tariffs, again, developing news with the tariff situation. 11:35. The aforementioned Deborah Green has booked Hadriana Lowenkrown from Bloomberg News. She is going to join us live at 11:35. And what I found out is a lot can happen between 10:15 right now and 11:35. So good get there from Deborah. Tariffs, obviously, the big news. Checking the markets now. All right, Dow's down 300. NASDAQ is down 300 as well as the reciprocal tariff news has struck Wall Street. S&P is just down 80 points, so maybe some good news there. But I suspect we're going to see some folks coming in at some point and trying to sneak in some profit taking, perhaps buying the dip, the dead cat dip, as we saw yesterday. So not all hope is lost. Again, for me, the magic number, and this is not anything based in reality, it's just in my mind. If the Dow can get back to 40,000, I'll feel a lot better about things. Right now, it's at 37,645. For the crypto bros, Bitcoin's up $10. 76,751, certainly well short of its 52-week high. This is an interesting story. I think I have time for this. There's apparently a dispute going on inside the inner sanctum of the Trump White House. Tempers flaring inside the White House is the headline as President Trump's latest tariffs take effect. ABC's Perry Russum has the story.
Two of Trump's key advisors are publicly feuding over tariffs. You have Elon Musk, who opposes them, calling Peter Navarro, who is in favor of them, a moron for comments he made about the production of Teslas. The White House is dismissing the back and forth, saying boys will be boys, and at the same time giving credit to Trump for hiring advisors who have different viewpoints.
It's pretty crazy. So Musk, obviously richest man in the world, the head of Doge, been the president's right-hand man, calling Peter Navarro, of the most inner circle of the Trump advisors, a moron, and he called him the R word. Caroline Leavitt is the White House press secretary. She was asked about this ongoing dispute between Musk and Navarro yesterday at the press conference. Let's listen in.
There's been some public sparring between Elon Musk and the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, on some of these tariffs. Musk actually referred to Navarro today as being, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Are you at all, or is the administration, the president, all concerned that this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs? It might be messing with the message on it?
No, look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. And you guys should all be very grateful that we have the most transparent administration in history. And I think it also speaks to the president's willingness to hear from all sides, that he has people at the highest levels of this government in this White House who have very diverse opinions on very diverse issues, but the president takes all opinions in mind, and then he makes the best decision based on the best interests of the American public.
She says boys will be boys. Can you imagine a world, and I'm not, this is a hypothetical, I am not saying this. If I posted on social media, that Von Hessler is dumber than a load of bricks, and then he responds, Aram is a stupid blankety blank. What would our bosses do? We'd be in the principal's office right now. Like, Aram, you can't call EVH dumber than a box of bricks or whatever. Von Hessler, you can't call Aram that. Like, that would not fly. The bosses would. But I think President Trump's just sitting back and going, yeah. Boys will be boys. All right, let's check 285 construction delays. Live with the latest, smiling Mark McKay.
All right, Mark, it's slow leaving Clarkston on the inner loop pass. We're watching left lane construction will through the midday hours on 285 south at Covington Highway exit 43. Extra heavy now leaving Boulder Crest Road on the outer loop. Police and a Hero unit have been holding a couple of right lanes. Maybe we had some trouble between Flat Shoals and I-20 they had to clear. All lanes back open, but again, that's slow heading toward the I-20 work zone, which takes out a left lane outbound I-20. That's I-20 east leaving 285 to Wesley Chapel. Still a bit slow if you're westbound Evans Mill to I-285. This report sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta,
the Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
if it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta,
Massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
we've got it covered.
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Playing a game with your family? Fun! Playing a game with your roof? You'll lose every time. Dave Baker here with the perfect match for your roof. Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. They're the extra effort experts with upfront pricing, exceptional service, and they'll treat your home like it's their own. Win, win, win. And with Findlay, manners matter. Findlay also has 0% financing available. Get your free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com. Roof.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's double A.
MCO.
Hey, it's Scott Slade with another big update from my friends at MyLend. They've got a new mortgage available to those of you who own a rental home or investment property. This loan allows you to qualify based on the cash flow of the property. That means you don't need to provide your income or employment like a traditional mortgage. It's special programs and industry knowledge like this that keep me talking about the abilities of my friends at MyLend. Whether you're looking to buy a new home, refinance to lower your payment, or need to see how you can access the equity in your home to pay off other debts, do yourself a favor. Call my friends at MyLend. Countless 5-star reviews and testimonials from homeowners just like you. MyLend's been a top mortgage lender in Atlanta and a friend of mine for decades. Give MyLend a call today. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS in Georgia residential mortgage licensee 148769. Located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Aram here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When garage doors break, they usually don't break all at once. They don't just up and die. They die slowly. Garage doors complain a bit before they crap out, squeaking and sticking and shaking and grinding. They go down part way and then stop and go back up for no reason. But they hardly ever just end up dead with no symptoms and no long goodbye. If you ignored the signs, that dead door is on you. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Our 19-point seasonal maintenance check makes sure everything's healthy. Oil the chain, check the rollers, realign the tracks, talk to you about how things are going, and look into any symptoms that might have you worried. Catch problems early, and your garage doors should be around to play with the grandkids. And talk about the old days, when all this was just farmland.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
I got the horses in the bag.
Happy 26th birthday, Lil Nas X, 26 years old. Vinny, Bag of Donuts, you're a music producer. Are you jealous or proud that a member of your generation had hit it so big with this song?
That's a great question. I'll say I'm proud. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm proud.
Why-
And then he's from Atlanta.
Why couldn't that be you? Why didn't you come up with that idea?
I didn't make a collab with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Collab with me and Deborah. Well, I can do that.
Yeah, we got to get Longo.
Yeah.
He can definitely sing the hook.
Get in the studio, man.
got it.
Anyway, one other birthday of note today.
Three things I was absolutely positive.
Bella Swan from Twilight,
First,
Kristen Stewart, turns
Everett
35
was a
years
vampire.
old. I remember back in the day when, full disclosure, I'll admit I've seen all the Twilight films, and President Trump, before he was president, was fascinated with the on-screen and off-screen relationship between Kristen Stewart and who was the guy that played the vampire?
Then-
What's the name, Deborah?
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, and and when they broke up, President Trump's like, "Don't worry, Robert, you could do so much better than her." It was a phenomenal moment in Twitter history. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, updating the big tariff news of the day and A lot of Americans carrying massive credit card debt. What you can do to get out of that. We'll update that next on The Mark Arum Show.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter here from my good friends at PalmettoSleep.com. Let's talk about a serious business, sleep apnea. I suffer from it, and whether you've been diagnosed with it or afraid you have it, I have the solution. Palmetto Sleep is here to give you your life back. They make it easy to get help for sleep apnea because living without a good night's sleep is simply no way to live. Palmetto Sleep offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that opens your airway so you naturally breathe the way nature intended. The best part is they offer virtual consultations and in-home sleep testing. No overnight stays at a sleep center. Plus, Palmetto Sleep has all the doctors that you will need. Most appointments are virtual, and it's all covered by your private medical insurance. Don't suffer from another sleepless night or daytime fatigue like I do. Visit PalmettoSleep.com now. Visit PalmettoSleep.com. That's PalmettoSleep.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Mom and Dad seemed different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin. Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Hey, it's Scott Slade from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, search FGA Roofing for the latest in designer architectural shingles. Ask about 0% financing. That's FGA Roofing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. We're going to start with a story that could possibly impact your drive. Work now underway for the repaving of nearly 24 Dunwoody streets.
T-SPOS funds and a Georgia DOT grant will cover the more than $3 million project to pave 10 lane miles across 23 streets before the end of the year. This work will get the city closer to fulfilling a pledge to resurface all city streets within 20 years when Dunwoody incorporated in 2008. To date, 259 miles have been paved across the city, representing 85% of that goal. The current slate of roads are in the Ashford Chase and Dunwoody North neighborhoods. You can check the city website for specific paving schedules and updates. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, thank you, Graham. Your weather for today, sunny and 68 this afternoon, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. The European Union members approving new tariffs on $23 billion in U.S. goods in retaliation for Trump's steel aluminum tariffs. And China announcing additional 50% tariffs in retaliation to the U.S. imposed tariffs on them. Janice McKay Freyer has more.
China is showing no sign of backing down from an all-out trade war with the U.S. Officials here have announced even more countermeasures. 84% tariffs on U.S. imports, no longer the 34% they announced last week to match the latest round out of the U.S.
Now, the move comes after 104% tariffs on Chinese imports announced by President Trump went into effect at midnight. At the opening bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down over 400 points. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ were also both lower. All three major averages, though, have been higher since then. Let's take a look now. We are in the green. The Dow's up 58 points at 37,704. NASDAQ is also in positive territory, up more than a full percent, and the S&P's up almost 0.5% here at 1032. Now, update on the Israel-Hamas war. An Israeli airstrike killing at least 29 Palestinians, including children, in Gaza City. Medics said dozens of others were wounded in the attack. It hit a multi-floor residential building in the eastern suburb of Gaza City. Many were still believed to be missing and trapped underneath the ruins of that building. The Israeli military saying in a statement that it struck a senior Hamas militant responsible for planning and executing attacks in northern Gaza. They do say the military says that several steps were taken before that attack to mitigate harm to civilians there. Back here at home, some Georgia child care teachers and staff could soon receive a $500 bonus in recognition of their commitment and effort. The Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning, also known as DECAL, is rolling out the Quality Rated Workforce Bonuses Initiative this month as a way to support and reward early childhood education professionals. This new program is one of the first of its kind in the United States. It'll distribute around $17 million every year. And UPS is also expanding.
UPS says its new Ground Saver service is aimed at consumers looking for a lower-priced option with package delivery times that are similar to regular UPS Ground, plus an additional 1 to 2 days. Meanwhile, the company says its UPS Ground with freight pricing offers commercial customers a simplified, lower-cost option for multi-package shipments weighing more than 150 pounds without the need for the use of pallets. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
Spirit Airlines expanding its operations here in Georgia. The low-cost carrier saying it's going to start offering several nonstop flights at Savannah International Airport later this year. New routes would include flights to Detroit, Fort Lauderdale, Nashville, and Newark. Spirit underwent financial restructuring and exited Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier this year. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather brought to you by American Crawl Space Solutions. Smile and Mark McKay joining us now. He has a look at your roads.
And the I-20 ride leaving Six Flags in the right lane. Sabrina slowing, approaching 285 and approaching Hamilton Homes. A lot of folks exiting there, causing those right lane delays approaching exit 52. Another I-20 East slow zone will be trying to get onto the connector north. That ramp still stacked up heading toward Edgewood Avenue. Connector is in pretty good shape. Let's tap of the brakes northbound leaving University Avenue and southbound rolling past Georgia Tech. East side perimeter construction up and running. Got a left lane knocked out on the inner loop 285 south at Covington Highway exit 43. You'll start to see the brake lights out of Clarkston approaching Memorial Drive. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. 68 with sunshine this afternoon. Tomorrow, low 49, high 74. Strong and potentially severe storms late Thursday evening into Thursday night.
52 degrees right now in Sugar Hill. It is 53 in Johns Creek and 53 here in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
I mean, my God, it's a stability issue. You know, businesses hate uncertainty. We got a lot of uncertainty.
Republican Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina raising his concerns about the ongoing trade war. We'll update the tariff news and how much credit card debt do you currently have? 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
How do I know I'm ready for air conditioning season? Well, the good people at Ragsdale Heating and Air say I am after my preventive maintenance visit, so I know it's right. This is Scott Slade. You know, many Ragsdale employees have been with them for 10, 20, even 30 years. And because they know their business and know your home system so well, they solve small problems before they become big ones. Like the filter I forgot to change. And my tech didn't make me feel bad about it at all. He replaced it with a smile. You ought to get to know Ragsdale with spring in the air and summer days coming. Right now, you could take up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system. And that comes with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. And if your current system needs attention before the summer heat, then Ragsdale Heating and Air has just what you need, a $79 AC tune-up. You can trust Ragsdale for plumbing and electrical work, too, when you go to ragsdaleair.com or call them. With more than 10,000 reviews and a 4.9 Google rating, more folks are discovering what I know. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level. With teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a common seasonal virus, but it can have major implications on a patient's heart health. Most RSV cases involve mild cold-like symptoms, but up to 160,000 adults are hospitalized each year for more serious cases. And RSV can escalate chronic health issues. If you're over the age of 60, talk to your doctor to find out if the new RSV vaccine is right for you. And learn more at heart.org/RSV.
Spring storms can dump a lot of rain in a short amount of time, flooding your crawl space and generating mold. Dry it out with American Crawl Space Solutions, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too. Hey, my hand.
57 years ago today, as heard on WSB Radio, mourners turned out in Atlanta for the funeral of Martin Luther King Jr. That's Mahalia Jackson singing King's favorite song, Take My Hand, 57 years ago today. More from the service. This is the minister that performed the King funeral service.
The cemetery is too small for his spirit, but we commit his body to the ground.
57 years ago, WSB Radio was there. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. So much more to come. Coming up after the news at 11, Stacey Lynn from CBS is going to join us. The news that broke yesterday, kind of out of nowhere. The U.S.-Iran talks set for this weekend in Doha. Stacey Lynn's going to get us caught up to date at that. 11:20, young actor Christopher Ferrara. He is going to be starring in the Amazon Prime blockbuster being released tomorrow, G20. And 11:35, we're going to talk tariff news with Hadriana Lowenkron from Bloomberg News. That, of course, the big story today. China at around 7 this morning Eastern time announced 84% reciprocal tariffs against the United States. And then in the 10 o'clock hour, the European Union said they're going to level 16 billion euro tariffs against certain American imports. So big tariff news. Dow's down 320, NASDAQ's down 335 as we continue to watch the markets throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Stepping away from tariffs for a second, but still talking about our pocketbooks and our wallets. Joining us on the Mark Arum Show, correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning, my friend. Full disclosure, I, for the first time in a long time, actually have a credit card balance right now. I am not alone. According to the data, Americans swimming in credit card debt currently.
They are a total of $1.2 trillion in credit card debt, according to the New York Fed. The average credit card interest rate is around 20%. And a new survey from Bankrate finds that nearly 2/3 of credit card debtors are really forced to make some bad financial choices because of the credit card debt. They can't save for an emergency fund. They can't put away money for retirement because they've got to put money toward that credit card balance.
So what are the financial advisors saying for folks that are in credit card debt? Because I know once you get caught up in the debt, you start making some really bad financial decisions.
Right. And, first we should mention that these credit card debtors are largely in the younger demographics, right? Millennials and Gen Zers as well. And the first piece of advice is to try to, one, stop this spending, right? Set a budget, figure out where the money is going out. That's one of the first things that these credit experts will tell you is most households don't have a budget and don't know where the money is going. If you were to tell them that they're spending $130 a month on all their streaming services, people might be shocked. But one, find out where the bleeding is. Two, stop spending like that. Three, try to transfer any balance to some 0% credit card in order to try to play catch up. And, and if you have to go to credit counseling services, maybe they can help you, work on some sort of a payment plan to get out from under it. But as you said, with interest rates over 20%, it's nearly impossible to get out from this debt. And one of the other notes from this Bankrate survey that caught my eye, about a quarter of those people with the credit card debt, they actually delayed spending on their their health care in order to address the credit card balance.
Oh wow, I would not cut out health care to pay down the debt. And you mentioned the interest rates, Roy, and I think that's part of the problem now with interest rates so high. I mentioned on the show a couple months ago, one of my credit cards I've had for 20 years. All of a sudden, they said, "Hey, your interest rate's now 35%," and I was like, "What?"
Whoa.
I mean, luckily it's a card that I don't carry a balance on, but I was like, that was jaw-droppingly high, and I would imagine that's why we're seeing that $1 trillion number as those interest rates have continued to climb.
Well, right, and a lot of people aren't aware of what their interest rate is. You'd be amazed because remember we mostly now get all these monthly bills electronically, right? You really got to do some digging to find out what the interest rate you're paying is. It used to be much more obvious when you'd open the old envelope and that big number would pop out. You'd see it because there were federal disclosure laws about the font size even. But these days, good luck finding what the interest rate is on your credit card. And it has been going up in the past couple of years. And a lot of people just assume that, when I signed up, it was 19.8%. It was for 20 years. But to your point, suddenly those rates have gone up a lot more. So if you are carrying a balance, even if you're not, make sure you know what the rate is and do everything you can to pay off the debt every single month so you're not charged that interest.
Yeah, I did a deep dive into my latest bill, and no surprise, the majority of my charges were food delivery services. That's, I was like, that makes sense. I do get a lot of food delivered. Rory, as always, appreciate your time, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
Speaking of food deliveries, this is a first world problem. Let me say I'm not complaining. Deborah, I was on because Maya's out of town, so I was on Uber Eats, and they had an amazing BOGO offer from Firehouse Subs. Right? They had 4 of their subs, buy one get one free. I was like, heck yeah! I've never seen it. So I ordered it. I was very excited. The pups were excited because, I'm going to share at least part of the sandwich with me. And the Uber Eats guy went to the, I tracked him. He went to the store. And then I get a canceled order notice. And I was like, what? And the guy messaged me. He's like, dude, they're closed. And I was like, what? I mean, that's a first world problem. I'm not going to lie about that. But yeah, I've got to cut back on. It's just the convenience and the ease. Like when I leave the station and I'm starving and I'm like, well, do I want to stop and wait in line and I just order something to be delivered to the house as I get home. And I've got to cut back on that. That being said, I am taking Longo and Vinny to lunch after the show today. Let me correct the markets. Apparently, I didn't refresh MarketWatch.com. Everything's in the green now. Who would have thunk it? The Dow, now the Dow's down 11 points, but a moment ago it was up. S&P's up 15 and the Nasdaq's up 200. So again, roller coaster ride on the markets today. We will keep you posted throughout the day on 95.5 WSB. My advice, though, don't check it until the end of the trading day. Deborah, I'm going to need you to react to this story because I didn't know this was a thing. A decades-long feud between a couple of pop stars is now over.
Madonna says that when she found out Elton John was performing on Saturday Night Live with Brandi Carlile last weekend, she decided she'd be there and confront him backstage. She says the first thing out of Elton's mouth was, "Forgive me." After she confronted him about years of public insults, Madonna posted a picture to social media of the two hugging. She says Elton told her he wrote a song for her and wants to collaborate. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York.
Sorry, Deborah. Deborah Rodriguez, not Deborah Green. I had no idea there was a beef between Madonna and former Atlanta resident Elton John. Did you know about this?
Yeah, because I'm a big Madonna fan myself. So this goes back to, I think it was past the night, probably the early 2000s. And Madonna was up for some award, and Elton John's like, well, she doesn't sing, she lip syncs. And then it kind of went back and forth after that. And they stopped, I guess they stopped being friends. They never collaborated together before. So, but yeah, he accused her of lip singing. She never said she didn't, but if you've gone to her concerts before, I mean, at some point she will not sing and do more dancing and stuff like that. So
I think I saw her
once.
I've seen Elton John before. I love Elton, big fan. I'm a fan of Madonna. I mean, a child of the 80s. How could you not be? I guess that feud happened during my herbal days in college, which is why it wasn't on my radar. I just didn't know.
Early 2000s?
No, this would have been the mid-90s. All right, no, I don't know. I just missed that. I had no idea that these two musical icons had a feud, but at least they buried the hatchet. Quick update. This is we've got the news cycle so crazy fast. let's not forget that President Trump had 2 would-be assassins before the election. Federal prosecutors now say President Trump's would-be assassin at a Florida golf course also wanted to shoot down his plane. Michael Wallace from CBS has more.
Brian Routh allegedly tried to buy a rocket-propelled grenade or stinger from someone he believed to be a Ukrainian with access to military weapons. Prosecutors say Routh told the Ukrainian, "I need equipment so that Trump cannot get elected." Routh also allegedly tried to buy a .50 caliber rifle, a more powerful version than the one he had at the golf course, but his contact couldn't find him one. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
That's insane. And I've said this before. I'm not even going to say it again. The vulnerabilities in, not Secret Service, but just our vulnerabilities in general as a society to a rocket launcher. If someone with ill intent was able to secure a rocket launcher from some proxy, they could do damage. I don't even want to. It's a nightmare scenario. Poo. Forget I even brought it up. But that's crazy. He was trying to buy a rocket launcher to shoot down President Trump's plane, in addition to trying to kill him on the golf course down in Mar-a-Lago. Crazy. It seems so long ago. That story and the Pennsylvania assassination attempt, just unbelievable. We're living in unbelievable times. Unbelievable times. All right, the latest on the tariffs. We'll go back to the White House in just a second. But is it an unbelievable time on the roadways? Live with the latest. Smile, Mark McKay.
Some challenges, Mark. Nothing great. You are in slow traffic, though, trying to work your way out of the Panthersville region up to Clarkston through that construction zone. 285 east and north. The outer loop all jammed up due to left lane road work. 285 north at Covington Highway, exit 43. Left lane is also taken out on the southbound side, and the delays out of Clarkston begin just before Memorial Drive. Once you get to Glenwood Road, you'll clear out. Downtown connector is a little crowded, especially headed southbound, leaving 17th Street, Atlantic Station, down past Georgia Tech. The 85 400 corridor slow to recover from the morning. 85 and 400 slow at the merge point. Connector northbound only on and off the brakes, leaving Georgia State Center Park Stadium up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. Smile, Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
If you're in the market as a home buyer or seller, there's a lot of noise out there and a lot of options. Should you find a company to buy your home, or accept a guaranteed cash offer, or do a traditional sale? Each of these has an upside and each has a downside. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, founder of Clario Real Estate. My team and I can offer all of these, and we help our clients sort through these choices every day. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the next 6 to 12 months, we can give you clarity so you can decide with confidence. My team and I are the experts. We have helped hundreds of families move and are ranked in the top 5% nationally. At Clario Real Estate, we can provide clarity on the best approach for you. Oh, and I'm also the real estate expert and host of the show Inside Georgia Real Estate, airing right here every Saturday at 1 p.m. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and tune in this Saturday at 1 p.m. for more. Clario Real Estate. Real clarity, real certainty for the real value of your home.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know most people don't love mattress shopping. In fact, many dread it. And why wouldn't they? Many mattress stores use high-pressure sales techniques like today-only pricing and tout features that don't really offer a benefit. They offer an overwhelming number of options to confuse things even further. At OMF, we do things differently. Our showrooms are easy to navigate, and our sales team actually cares. Our goal is to answer your questions, not pressure you into purchasing. OriginalMattress.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Termites have one job: to eat 24/7, and your home is directly in their path of destruction. Mark Aram here for my pals at Breda Pest Management. When something threatens the safety of your home, you want a complete barrier, not just a bait station. Only Breda offers Termidor, a liquid barrier system providing total protection. And Breda knows how critical it is to protect the inside of your home, not just the outside, from these eating machines. How are you supposed to know that your home's termite-free inside when your current termite company just walks around the outside of your house checking those bait stations? Breda is better at beating termites. So I want you to switch your termite protection to Breda now, and your rate locked in for 10 whole years, just like my house. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like termites. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people pay to share their opinions, and this ad plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are
President Trump last night
please, sir, make a deal.
saying that countries are dying to make a deal. No deal from China today. They whacked us with an 84% reciprocal tariff. The EU followed later on this morning. Let's go back to the White House. Elena Treen moments ago. Reaction to the new tariff news this morning, Elena.
Well, it's clear that, the Trump administration, the White House, is trying to communicate now that the door is open for negotiating. I think it's still, quite unclear what the exact formula will be for them to find a way to really reduce the tariffs and the levies that they have on their countries. Now, excuse me, we do know today, and this is new reporting, a person familiar with this meeting told me that Vietnam's deputy prime minister is slated to meet with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent this afternoon. We also heard from Bessent this morning, though, talking about and trying to ease some concerns, perhaps, of bankers, saying, maybe right now is not Wall Street's turn, it's actually Main Street's turn to grow. Take a listen to what he said.
Last 4 decades, basically since I began my career in Wall Street has grown wealthier than ever before, and it can continue to grow and do well. But for the next 4 years, the Trump agenda is focused on Main Street. It's Main Street's turn. It's Main Street's turn to hire workers. It's Main Street's turn to drive investment. And it's Main Street's turn to restore the American dream.
So that's the Treasury Secretary's kind of argument here in defense of what's going on right now in the markets. He's really been one of the chief, messengers for this tariff policy. But just to give you a sense of the other conversations, Pamela, that are going on behind the scenes, we know that this administration is currently in talks with Japan, South Korea, Italy's Prime Minister Meloni is coming to Washington next week. All of these countries really wanting to open the door to having these talks. We're also hearing behind the scenes that some people close to the White House are telling these countries to find ways to sweeten these deals with the president, really try to make it seem like, the U.S. is getting the better end of the stick, because that's exactly how the president sees it.
CNN's Alayda Treen moments ago at the White House. We will see if any other of our trading partners are up to negotiations. Currently, it looks like China's a hard no, and the European Union's well, maybe not. Markets impacting that. I don't even know why I'm updating this. They change by the minute, but currently the Dow's down 257, Nasdaq's up 43. Make it make sense. I don't know what's going on there, but obviously most of you listening are invested. I never thought about this too, Deborah. I've been talking about all our IRAs and 401ks, and hopefully this is just a bump in the road. But I forgot that the market also impacts those college funds for kids, right? When your kid's born, 538 CBA, I don't know what it is because I don't have kids, but whatever you put into those are tied to the markets too. So it's not just retirees that are feeling the effects of the turbulent market, but also those college funds for kids that you set up at a young age. Anyway, markets in flux. That's a great word, flux. News, weather, traffic in less than 3 minutes. When we come back, possibly some good news when it comes to the Mideast. We got a big meeting set this weekend between U.S. and Iran. Stacey Lynn from CBS is going to join us live. And then actor Christopher Farrar live in studio. He's in the big Amazon blockbuster G20 that releases tomorrow. So much more to come on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's the active season here in the ATL. Are you going to be active or inactive because of chronic joint pain? Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at QC Kinetics. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Atlanta are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. With QC Kinetics, the science solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Get out and be active this summer. Golfing, swimming, tennis. Heck, pickleball seems to be picking up speed. Get out there and be active. Don't let your chronic joint pain hold you back. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. Consultation totally free, and they're happy to take a look and see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now, the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026 for QC Kinetics.
Passion. It's the difference between getting it done and being exceptional. For your home's exterior renovation, hire a company passionate about your project. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie. My passion for high-quality remodeling began when I started my business at just 15. Now we have grown to the Plus family of businesses. If you hear the Plus, it's us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. The trade wars are heating up. The new round of tariffs against dozens of countries is in effect now, with a 104% tariff in place on goods imported from China. And China announcing new tariffs on the U.S. now. Imports, also the European Union adopting its first levies to hit back at President Trump's tariffs. Up to 25% tariffs are against products including soybeans, motorcycles, and beauty products. Kelly O'Grady on what this new round of tariffs means for our economy.
The volatility index, and what it tracks and predicts is how much uncertainty, volatility, and swings we are going to get in the market over the next 30 days. We have been hovering and sometimes even passing 50 That is important because only 2 times in history have we seen the VIX get that high, and that was in 2008 and that was in 2020.
And the president this morning looking to reassure Americans about the economy. And a post on Truth Social, the president says, quote, "Be cool. Everything's going to work out well. The U.S. will be bigger and better than ever before." In a follow-up post, he said, "This is a great time to buy." The president's post comes as Wall Street has seen 4 straight days of finishing lower over concerns about the tariffs. Uncertainty surrounding the tariffs and global trade prompts the Atlanta-based airline Delta to pull its full-year forecast.
A first-quarter earnings report from Delta shows growth is stalling. CEO Ed Bastian tells CNBC the airline's second-quarter revenue could drop or grow as much as 2%.
Summer bookings are in line with where we were a year ago. International is the one we always get questions about. International for us, about 80% of that's U.S. point of sale, and U.S. consumers are looking to go somewhere to try to get a reprieve from all the craziness we're going through.
But the airline's $13 billion revenue for the first quarter is in line with expectations, even though the company's stock is down significantly. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
All right, your weather for today. It's going to be sunny. Afternoon highs around 68, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Dunwoody starts a major paving project. 23 streets will be paved, covering 10 miles. It's being mostly paid for by SPLOST, the Georgia DOT also providing some of the funding. The city says by the end of 2029, they'll complete resurfacing all city streets, fulfilling a commitment made by city founders to achieve a 20-year paving cycle. Grady Health Systems breaking ground today on a new freestanding emergency department coming to South Fulton County.
The new 20,000-square-foot facility will be located in the 5600 block of Campbellton Fairburn Road. Once complete, it will provide 24/7 care and feature 16 treatment bays, imaging and lab services, and a pharmacy. Union City Mayor Vince Williams says emergency care has been a dire need for the area since the 2022 closure of Wellstar Atlanta Medical Center.
Access to quality health care has been a huge concern.
The facility will not handle trauma services. Those patients will still need to go to Grady Memorial in downtown Atlanta. It is slated to open in the fall of 2026 and will cost about $38 million. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A $500 bonus is on the way to some Georgia child care teachers and staff. The bonus is coming from the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. The agency's Bentley Ponder telling us
there are some eligibility requirements for staff. So they have to be employed at the program 90 days. They have to work at least full-time, and we consider full-time to be 30 hours a week.
About 34,000 bonuses worth $17 million will be distributed annually, the program among the first of its kind in the nation. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 261 at 37,383. NASDAQ is currently up in positive territory slightly, and the S&P is down slightly here at 1104. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Very busy with the road work over in DeKalb County today. You've got a left lane blocked in both directions, 285 north and southbound between Glenwood Road and Covington Highway. And then on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp that takes you off of 285 over toward Wesley Chapel and I-20 eastbound, left lane of that ramp is blocked. And the right lane of the through lane's also blocked. So just a busy area over there at the I-20 285 interchange in DeKalb throughout the day. Downtown, watching some brake lights from the 85-400 merge heading southbound into Midtown. Northbound a little sluggish, University Avenue up toward Freedom Parkway. Luckily no crashes in the way right now. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Headed to 68 with sunshine today. Tomorrow increasing clouds, low 49, high 74. The risk for some strong and potentially severe storms coming in late Thursday evening and Thursday night.
55 degrees in Sandy Springs. It's 54 in Snellville and Sugar Hill. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on this extremely busy News Day Wednesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Just a couple of minutes, actor Christopher Farrar is going to join us live in studio. G20 premiering on Amazon Prime tomorrow. 11:35. Deborah's got more tickets to give away to Andrea Bocelli. Obviously, the big news today, reciprocal tariffs from the Chinese and the European Union. We just heard from Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, speaking to the American Bankers Association in D.C.
The companies I've spoken to, the people who have come, the CEOs who have come into Treasury, tell me that the economy is very solid. We got some very good jobs numbers last Friday. So, I think that we are in pretty good shape.
We'll monitor the markets and the latest tariff impact throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. I want to circle back to a story that popped seemingly out of nowhere the other day after the Israeli prime minister met with President Trump at the White House, and the possibility of some sort of a negotiation or at least a meeting between the United States and Iran. Covering the story from our CBS News and joining us live, it's Stacy Lynn. Stacy, good morning. As always, thanks for your time.
Of course. Nice to be with you, Mark.
I mean, we're so wrapped up in the markets and the tariffs, and I did not see this story. It kind of came out of nowhere. What do we know about the possible meeting this weekend between the United States and Iran?
Yeah, it was quite interesting. From the Oval Office, the president was sitting next to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, and he kind of just slipped this word in that they were going to have some high-level direct talks on Saturday. That's when these talks would begin. And so far, we've just heard about maybe negotiations to negotiate something along the lines, to get Iran to not have a nuclear weapon or use a nuclear weapon. So all we know so far is that the president is sending U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff. He'll be leading the U.S. delegation in Oman this weekend. And, Trump said on Monday, everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. Of course, he was referring to potential military action. And when he was asked if, what happens if these talks are not successful, he said Iran would be in great danger. He repeated and reiterated several times when asked and pressed on this issue from reporters that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. This is all interesting, Mark, because these are the first direct talks between the two nations since 2015. That was during the Obama administration when they did have a nuclear deal signed where Iran agreed to limit the nuclear program in exchange for lifting sanctions. And then, as we all know, Trump came into power 3 years later, and he ditched that plan completely, and Iran retaliated. They resumed nuclear activities, and since then, things have been advancing pretty rapidly. So Trump right now, all we know, says he will deliver a stronger nuclear deal than Obama's from years ago. He says he wants to completely dismantle the nuclear program rather than just restricting it. So that's kind of where we stand right now. I mean, they've negotiated to negotiate. We're not exactly sure how these talks are going to go. President Trump insisted these are direct talks. Iran has so far said these will be indirect, meaning having a mediator between them. We're just going to have to wait until Saturday to see how things play out. They could start as indirect talks, and if things are playing, if they're playing well together, then perhaps they could go to direct talks and hopefully be on the same line to get something done.
So interesting. Stacy Lynn from CBS News joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Back to that surprise announcement with President Trump was sitting there next to the Israeli Prime Minister. When President Trump goes off the cuff, you really don't know what's going to come out. But I thought he was very cautious in his wording when he was talking about the possible deal with Iran. He didn't flat out say any sort of military action. He kind of danced around it and let it be known that if a deal isn't made, that without saying as much in so many words, that military options would be on the table. And I don't think that no one in the region wants that. Why does President Trump want to tackle this now? As you mentioned, he's the one who pulled out of the previous deal. What's the incentive for President Trump to negotiate with Iran?
Well, I think it's clearly because things have moved so rapidly, kind of alarming levels, they say, advancing with kind of dangling the nuclear threat in front of the world. And obviously, a war could break out because of this. And so I think he's looking at this as if he can help, get this deal on the table that's very strong and completely dismantle the program, then, other regional conflicts over there, obviously with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu sitting right next to him, he could help move those things along and maybe, a longer lasting peace, which is obviously the goal. Not sure how attainable that is.
Aside from the nonverbal reaction from the Israeli Prime Minister, have we heard from Israel at all, their reaction to these direct or non-indirect talks that are set for this weekend?
We haven't, and that is quite interesting as well. They've kind of stayed quite quiet, and like you said, the nonverbal, the look on Netanyahu's face was one of, I'm going to try not to make an expression that people are going to read too heavily into. We do know that this morning there was this op-ed from Iran's foreign minister in the Washington Post. It was kind of quite interesting because he said that his country is ready to strike a peaceful deal with the U.S. through diplomacy, which, and I think he was very tactfully speaking in Trump's terms. He said it could result in $1 trillion business opportunity, and was kind of focusing more on the business aspect of it, which we all know Trump is a businessman. And Iran's foreign minister said, and avoid a costly military involvement in the region for the U.S. So he said in that op-ed, the ball is in America's court. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on Saturday to see, the steps that they will take to get there.
Yeah, I'm certainly sure we'll be talking about it Monday on the show. Stacey Lynn, CBS News. Stacey, thanks for jumping on for us with this story.
My pleasure, Mark. Have a great day.
There you go. So we'll see what happens with these direct or indirect talks. At least there are going to be talks going on between the United States and Iran. 11:12 on the Mark Arum Show. Mixed news on Wall Street now. The Dow's down 68, the NASDAQ up 134. I'm very happy to take a pause in talking tariffs, Mideast, and Wall Street. Joining us live in studio, I'm calling you the star of Amazon Prime's new blockbuster being released tomorrow, G20.
Yes.
Actor Christopher Farrar joins us live in studio on the Mark Arum Show. Do you prefer Chris or Christopher?
Christopher.
Christopher, good morning, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you.
This has got to be exciting. I mean, you've already, in your young acting career, you've had a number of roles in some amazing shows, Atlanta, of course. But is this the biggest production you've been a part of, G20?
Yes, I would probably have to say yes. This is definitely one of the biggest productions. I mean, I got to go to South Africa. That was amazing. That was crazy.
Is that where the movie was filmed?
Yeah, that's where we filmed it in Cape Town, South Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've never been. What was it like?
I mean, it was beautiful there. And then, like, the local people, they were so nice. I mean, I also got, like, a nickname in South Africa. It was Sibo Sibo, which means, like, you're a blessing to your family.
Oh, I like that.
It was just beautiful. I mean, there was this mountain called Tabletop Mountain. Wherever you went in the city, you could see it, and it was beautiful.
So not only do you get to film a blockbuster movie with some amazing actors, you got to do it in Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah.
So was it tough to stay focused on remembering your lines when you had this beautiful backdrop?
I mean, it wasn't. No, I wouldn't say it was tough to remember my lines because of like the backdrop, but I would say I was a little nervous, like working with Viola, Anthony, like at first, but then like once we started filming, I started to like build a relationship with everyone. I mean, that all like just became a breeze.
I love how you just call her Viola. Viola Davis, obviously.
Yes.
So I don't want to give any spoilers, but the movie is G20. Viola Davis plays the President of the United States, and you play her son.
Yes.
All right, so tell us a little bit, without spoilers, what's the movie about, and why is it called G20?
Okay, so in a nutshell, I'll tell you why it's called G20. So basically, there's this thing where like all the top 20 nations meet in a country or South Africa. So that's why it's called G20. It's the G20 summit. And then in a nutshell, without any spoilers,
things go awry, right? Doesn't go. It's not the normal G20 summit that we're used to seeing.
So my family, we go to South Africa for the G20 summit, and we're there. Everything's going normal. And then it's disrupted by terrorists. And then, we just have to use teamwork and family bond to, like, save the day in a nutshell.
Intimidating working with Viola Davis? I mean,
yes, yes.
That would be, I'm nervous just saying her name out loud. What was it like sharing scenes with her?
So, well, I'll give you a little story. So when I first, like, walked on, like, to the set, we were just taking pictures. And I was walking around the corner into the green room, and I heard her voice.
Yeah.
And I looked at my mom, I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. And then, I finally met her. She was a sweetheart. And then scenes with her, I mean, she just made it so easy because she just brought so much, like, depth. And she kind of just gave me my performance off her performance. I was just able to, like, feed so much off her. So
I know Amazon is pumped about this because I was doing show prep and I was watching cable news and the commercial for the trailer for G20. So they're obviously really behind this.
Yeah.
What brings you to Atlanta? Is there a premiere here tonight or?
No, just a couple interviews like this one,
Okay.
and then tomorrow, me and Marseille, we have this. There's going to be a screening actually.
Okay.
At HBCU. Yeah.
All right. What time should I be there?
What time is it?
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to
No,
invite
you
myself.
should come by. You should see it.
I'm an Amazon Prime subscriber, so as soon as it drops, I'll be watching it.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Actor Christopher Farrar joining us live in studio on the Mark Arum Show. The blockbuster movie G20 drops on Amazon Prime tomorrow. My producer tells me you're a budding baseball star. Is that correct?
Yes.
What position do you play?
I play middle infield, so shortstop,
Shorts or
second base.
All right, I'm going to ask you a really tough question. I played college baseball. I was a pitcher. You would have gotten a hit off me. I can tell already. You've got skills. I'm going to ask you a would you rather question.
Okay.
Would you rather be MVP for the Los Angeles Dodgers or win an Academy Award for Best Actor? It's a tough one.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot. I mean, why not? Why not do both? I mean,
you could do both. Absolutely, you could do both.
Yeah, I'm gonna say both.
All right,
that's a tough question.
You might get into politics. That was a very political answer. I'm going to do both. Are you a Dodgers fan? I just assumed because of the West Coast.
You know what? I am a Dodgers fan, and my mom and dad are going to get on me because they are Cardinals fans because we're from St. Louis. But
okay,
yeah, I'm a Dodgers
That's a great
fan.
baseball town.
Yeah,
St. Louis. Excellent. All right. Well, the Braves are in town taking on the Phillies. So if anyone in the Braves organization wants to, invite a future Academy Award winner and a future National League MVP to the Braves game, just reach out to Christopher. I'm assuming you're on social media?
Yeah.
All right. Where can we find you?
Christopher Farrar on Instagram, all platforms.
All right, I'm going to give you a follow right now. This is exciting, man. This is exciting. Do you have any other projects in the pipeline coming up?
No, nothing coming up too soon that I know about yet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're in Atlanta. This is the Hollywood of the South. So while you're here, dip over to Tyler Perry Studios. Tell Tyler I sent you. We'll get you in one of his films, and we'll continue to rise. All right. Future MVP, future Academy Award winner. G20 drops tomorrow on Amazon Prime. Very excited. Thanks for coming in, Christopher.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll get back to the markets. We'll update the tariff news. But first, I don't know if you know this, Christopher, but Atlanta's known for horrible traffic. Really bad traffic. Let's check the latest live with Alex Williams.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, and we're seeing the delays in the work zone in DeKalb County with the left lane blocked in both directions. 285 north and southbound between Glenwood Road and Covington Highway. Pack your patience there. If you're taking 285 to get on 20 eastbound to head out toward Lithonia, left lane blocked on that collector distributor ramp, right lane to the through lanes. And just found a crash in Marietta. It's on the left shoulder for now. No authorities on scene yet, though. 75 south before North Marietta Parkway, exit 265. Traffic brought to you by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA guide at betternestegg.com. Don't leave your future to chance. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
We have become an idiotic nation that doesn't know how to even debate anything, so it doesn't surprise
Eric
me.
Von Hessler has an opinion.
You will still age.
And some advice.
Start doing things when you're younger. Drink a lot of water.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
And you will still die.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers, but in my case, they brought unwanted pests. Just last week, I noticed the mosquitoes were taking over my backyard and the carpenter bees swarming my outdoor deck. I knew I needed help, so I called Arrow Exterminators. Ken, my Arrow team member, didn't just provide a solution. He gave me peace of mind with their Arrow Exterminators friendly and effective treatments. Arrow Exterminators has been a family-owned business for over 61 years, so they really treat you like part of the family. They even offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Plus, you can get a free home or business pest inspection to stay ahead of any pest problems. Thanks to Ken and Arrow Exterminators, my family can enjoy our backyard again. So don't wait for the pests to settle in. Take back your yard this spring. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. And when you do, be sure to tell them Belinda sent ya.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Arum here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Hey, it's Scott Slade with another big update from my friends at MyLend. They've got a new mortgage available to those of you who own a rental home or investment property. This loan allows you to qualify based on the cash flow of the property. And that means you don't need to provide your income or employment like a traditional mortgage. It's special programs and industry knowledge like this that keep me talking about the abilities of my friends at MyLend. Whether you're looking to buy a new home, refinance to lower your payment, or need to see how you can access the equity in your home to pay off other debts, do yourself a favor. Call my friends at MyLend. Countless 5-star reviews and testimonials from homeowners just like you. MyLend's been a top mortgage lender in Atlanta and a friend of mine for decades. Give MyLend a call today. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS in Georgia residential mortgage licensee 148769. Located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
It's Diamond Month at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and that means this month, buying diamonds comes with even more diamonds. All through the month of April, when you spend $9.95 or more, you'll receive a pair of gorgeous hand-matched diamond studs absolutely free. At $9.95, you get a quarter-carat pair of studs for free. $24.95, we'll give you half-carat studs. And at $99.95, you're going home with a full-carat pair of studs on us. All April long in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
11:24 on the Mark Arum Show. Great. What a rising star Christopher Ferrara is. I am going to post a picture of the two of us on my Instagram story at Mark Arum, M-A-R-K-A-R-U-M. Coming up after the news at 11:35, not only does Deborah have tickets to give away to see Andrea Bocelli October 11th at Gas South Arena, but we're going to talk to Hadriana Lowenkrown. Love her. She's from Bloomberg News, the very latest on the tariff news. Markets are up now. Look at that. You just turn your head for a second. Turn your head and cough. And the markets are up. Dow's up 100, NASDAQ's up 200. Again, I can't make heads or tails of it. Let's just enjoy the ride, and hopefully it ends in the green today. This is Augusta Masters Week at Augusta National. And I can't afford the tickets, but I came up with an idea, Deborah. A day food pass at Augusta National.
Oh, yeah.
Instead
a lot of people would do that.
Yeah, just I don't want to see the golf. Let me come in, get the pimento cheese sandwich, the egg salad sandwich, and then walk out. I'd pay $50 for that privilege. I don't need to watch the golf. I can watch the golf on TV. I just want a food pass. You did find one interesting Augusta National story, and it involves all the Eric Erickson types flying in for the big tournament.
It's so busy at the Masters that the Augusta Airport is actually running out of space. Augusta Regional Airport is filled with private luxury jets of the golfers and spectators that millionaires are being forced to park at other airports. The overflow is headed to Aiken Regional Airport. It's about 26 miles from the course, but you do need a dedicated Masters reservation to use it. Parking there is going to cost you between $50 and $2,000 depending on the size of your plane.
Well, my plane is non-existent, so I don't have to pay for parking. I remember something similar. The WSB Skycopter was parked at Peachtree DeKalb Airport, and when I used to fill in for Captain Herb, I think it was during a Super Bowl week, and they ran out of space at Peachtree because so many wealthy folks fly in for the Super Bowl, and obviously so many folks, wealthy folks fly into for the Masters that the airports run out of parking. You can't put up a sign at the front driveway. Do they put up a sign that looks at
Lot full.
like points to space, lot full, go to the next airport? Like, how do you handle that? Or you just got guys circling around going, well, I can put it down on that field. I can put it down over there. Great stuff. Thank you, Deborah. Happy Masters Week to all that participate and celebrate. All right, news, weather, and traffic straight ahead. And when we come back, tariff news. We got a big pop from China. Then we got an uppercut from the EU. What's it all mean? Adriana Lowenkron from Bloomberg News joining us live next on the Mark Arum Show. Going to post that picture of Christopher Farrar in my Instagram story right now. Give us a follow. Instagram at Mark Arum.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
At Ameris Bank, we're invested in the success of your business. Our local bankers are ready to help you improve your cash flow, optimize your operating accounts, and access financing when you need it. From treasury services and digital banking to loans and lines of credit, we offer tailored solutions to help your business thrive. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. Visit amerisbank.com/withyourbusiness or walk into one of our branches today to get started. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans subject to credit approval.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Arum here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, Kroger brand bone-in hickory smoked spiral ham is only $1.99 a pound with your card and additional $25 purchase. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
So how do we create value? This is Greg Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. Value comes from having complete control over our product quality. From design to manufacturing to delivery, everything is handled in-house by our trained professionals. This approach allows us to maintain strict quality standards and respond quickly to customer needs. We believe true value is created when a company takes full responsibility for its products. When you choose OMF, you're getting a mattress built with care and attention at every step. OriginalMattress.com.
When it rains, you need to make sure your home is protected from the ground up. That means starting in your crawl space. Water in your crawl space can lead to problems in your house. Crawl space issues? Visit aquaguard.net today and book a free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. With the trade wars heating up, the president's trying to calm fears this morning. ABC's Karen Travers has more from the White House.
The president posting on social media, quote, "Be cool. Everything is going to work out well." He also said this is a great time to buy stocks. Despite the volatility on Wall Street and calls from even his own supporters to pause the tariffs, the president showing no signs of backing down, telling Republican lawmakers Tuesday night,
"I know what the hell I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and you know what I'm doing too. That's why you vote for me."
Atlanta-based Delta Airlines is pulling its full-year financial guidance amid uncertainty surrounding tariffs and global trade. The airline's still anticipating an overall profit this year, but is not reaffirming its previously projected annual earnings of more than $7.35 per share.
We're taking second-half growth out of our plan for the back half of the year. We're planning to grow about 4%. Now it's going to be flat.
That's Delta CEO Ed Bastian. He was on CNBC saying it's hard to predict the impact of policies on business. Delta is scheduled to take dozens of aircraft from Europe's Airbus that would now be subjected to tariffs. And Bastian saying today that the airline will not be paying tariffs on any of those aircraft deliveries. And he went on to say that he's made it clear with Airbus that they will defer any deliveries that have a tariff. All right, your weather for today, sunny and afternoon highs around 68, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Dunwoody has started the next phase of a major paving project. This year, 23 streets will be paved, covering 10 lanes. 10 miles of lanes. It's part of a 20-year project initiated when the city was incorporated back in 2008.
By the end of 2029, we hope to have completed resurfacing all city streets since we were incorporated to achieve a 20-year paving cycle.
That's Assistant City Manager Jay Navicki says the cost of the work is covered by T-SPLOS funds as well as some grant dollars from the Georgia Department of Transportation. Paving schedules for specific streets can be found on the city's website. Some Georgia child care teachers and staff could soon be getting a $500 bonus in recognition of their commitment and effort. The Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning is rolling out the Quality Rated Workforce Bonuses initiative this month. DeKal's Bentley Ponder says it's a way to retain good employees.
That is one of our goals with the program. To be a quality rated program takes a lot of work, and so much of that is dependent on the staff in classrooms.
He says it will also help boost recruitment for top-tier child care providers. About 34,000 bonuses worth $17 million will be distributed annually, and they're paid for with federal grant money. If you work the night shift, when you eat may actually help protect your heart. A new study shows night shift workers who only ate during the daytime hours had better cardiovascular health than those who ate during both day and night. Researchers say daytime eating exclusively helps readjust your internal body clock. That study is in the journal Nature Communications. As we take a look at the markets, we're in the green. The Dow's up 42 at 37,688. NASDAQ is up almost a full percent, and the S&P is also in the green. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Watching this crash in Marietta, 75 southbound before the North 120 loop. Exit number 265 was on the left shoulder. Police now on scene, so that left lane is blocked. A few brake lights leaving Highway 5. 285 westbound, the outer loop coming out of Sandy Springs heading toward Cobb County. You're seeing those delays from Riverside Drive passing the Chattahoochee River over to I-75 exit 20, and left lane construction continues both ways into Cab. 285 north and southbound between Covington Highway and Glenwood Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. 68 with sunshine this afternoon. Tomorrow, low 49, high 74. Strong and potentially severe storms late Thursday evening into Thursday night.
It is 55 degrees in Beaufort. Covington is 57, and it's 57 degrees in Smyrna. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
After suspect refuses to exit a home on Summer Chase Drive.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Looks to be a tanker truck crashed into the median on the Jam Cam.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The major culprits are squeezing household budgets for auto insurance, gasoline, and utilities.
Your 24/7 news source. Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I do not support them.
I think it needs to be done. I don't know if I quite agree with the way he's doing it.
There are a couple of fellows that are Trump supporters talking about the tariffs, not really happy. We'll get the latest on the tariff news today. Adriana Lowenkron from Bloomberg News live next on the Mark Arum Show. Is your old AC unit ready for another sweltering Atlanta summer? Probably not. Hey, good news. Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable. Great new deal going on right now, guys. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Any AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Don't miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 free sale and pay nothing until 2027. Sale ends soon, only from Window Nation. Schedule your free estimate now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, camel, and a kangaroo.
Heading to the White House in just a couple of seconds, but we do have a chance to give back to the listenership. Deborah Green, what do we have today, my friend?
Today we have a pair of tickets to go see Andrea Bocelli at Gas South Arena on October 11th.
All right, let's do the 11th caller to 404-872-0750. 11th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli October 11th at the Gas South Arena, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. As promised, to the nation's capital, White House correspondent for Bloomberg News, Hadriana Lowenkron, joins us. Hadriana, as always, great to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
I can only imagine what it's like for you right now, being the White House correspondent for Bloomberg News with the ping-pong tariffs going on. Big news today, China issues the reciprocal 84%. The EU follows a couple hours later with tariffs of their own. What's the latest on the tariff news, and what, if any, reaction have we heard from the White House?
Right. So, as you mentioned, first of all, as of yesterday, we were expecting that these tariffs would go into effect after midnight. That was what was expected. The White House had remained steadfast on that, and that is indeed what we saw with the effects coming into place. And, that did result in some retaliation. And I think that that's something that we're still seeing the effects of in the markets today. There is also still some uncertainty over whether the idea of these tariffs was to be something permanent or something that would, be just a negotiating tactics with differing responses from different people in the admin. And so we're hearing that there are countries who are, knocking on the U.S.'s doors. That is something the president himself has touted, as well as his officials. And we're really all waiting here to see what that results in.
And that's been the toughest pill to swallow, Hadriana, is the uncertainty, right? You hear from President Trump, these are set in stone. These are the tariffs. And then you hear, oh, no, this is, we're open to negotiations. So that confusion just for normal citizens and investors, and obviously confusion on Wall Street with the roller coaster we've seen the last couple of days.
Absolutely, and then even with regard to the question of negotiating, what does that mean? Who is it, who are the people who are managing these different negotiations? I mean, these are all questions that we're trying to answer. I was in the Oval, earlier this week, and I asked the president if by negotiating it meant that the countries could get below that 10% rate, and he didn't respond to that. So there are just, so many things that we're really trying to figure out at the moment. There is so much uncertainty. And, we can see it all in the markets and with these retaliatory tariffs as well. This is really shaping up to be something big. And, we're continuing to get a sense that this has a big impact for the markets and the economy.
Reading your reporting on Bloomberg this morning, I didn't realize that with these tariffs now, trade levies are at a 100-year high. So fair to say this is historic tariff action going on right now.
Absolutely historic. And there are other things that are tied to this. I mean, something interesting we're looking out for here is what's happening with TikTok, and we know that the president over the weekend acknowledged that China's objections to new U.S. tariffs, the proposed tariffs that then went into effect, stalled a deal to sell off TikTok and keep it operating in the U.S. So there are so many kind of compounding factors here that we are just continuing to unpack and continuing to cover over here.
You may or not have an answer on this, but maybe just read the room for me. Obviously, China, our biggest international trade partner, we are now tariffing their imports at 104%. They are tariffing our exports at 84%. Do you see any scenario where the president of China and the president of the United States actually get to a table or at least virtually do some sort of negotiating to get these tariffs down?
That is the million-dollar question, and the president seems to think that this is a tactic that will work out that way. I think his exact words, a couple days ago when I was there with him, was that they want a deal, but they don't know how to get it. They, meaning China and Xi. So, we're still trying to figure out what that will look like. And, officials have signaled that there are other countries who are trying to have these negotiations. So that's something, Italy, for one. So, we'll see with that. And again, it'll help us understand, I think, the more information we get on other countries, how exactly that ends up being maybe a role model for other countries and how that allows us to continue to see, what comes out of these negotiations. But, time will tell and anything could happen. But, that's what the president seems to think, is that they will eventually come together and figure out a deal.
Hadriana Lowenkron, White House correspondent for Bloomberg News. Hadriana, as always, really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, that will be the big story for the rest of the day. Updates on the tariff news throughout the day on 95.5 WSB. Quick refresh and mixed numbers on the market. Dow's down 100. NASDAQ's up 66. Crypto bros, you're a little happier today. Bitcoin's up 286. Now, not all the tariff news is bad for Georgians, and this story jumped off the page for me, Deborah.
Not everybody is hating on tariffs. Local shrimpers are seeing it as a win. More than 90% of the millions of pounds of shrimp consumed annually in the U.S. is imported, and those imports have drove costs down so low that a lot of local farmers closed up shop or were barely able to turn a profit. But with these new tariffs kicking in, it's going to revitalize the shrimping industry along the Gulf Coast.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, if there's a silver lining to this, I know Georgia farmers are really concerned about the tariffs. But, and I've said this unequivocally, the greatest shrimp in the world is Georgia shrimp. If you've never had Georgia shrimp, you can't go back eating other shrimp after it. It is that good. I don't know what it is. The waters off the coast of Georgia, whatever's going on, Georgia white shrimp are the most delicious shrimp on the planet. I've had shrimp all over the world, and this was the best piece of shrimp I've ever had. I'm quoting the Godfather there. It's so good. And be aware, seafood lovers like me, in this Lenten period, of course. When you go to the supermarket, see where that shrimp comes from. Do your own taste test. Get that Vietnamese shrimp, and then get the Georgia white shrimp. And do, I mean, it's unbelievable. I say that without reservation. The best shrimp in the world is Georgia shrimp. So good news for Georgia. And that means, maybe I'll forego a career in the CIA and I'll be a shrimp boat captain. Vinny will be my Lieutenant Dan. We'll go out there. All right. Now I want shrimp for lunch. Goodness gracious. All right, thanks for that story. Deborah, I'm going to need your input on this story. The drummer who was dropped by the Beatles just before the group found worldwide fame is calling it a day.
June 1962, the BBC broadcasts a performance by a new group called The Beatles with Pete Best on drums. 2 months later, though, he was fired. It was the flashier and more talented Ringo Starr who would share the Fab Four's ride to wealth and global stardom. And this is Pete Best last summer, drumming with the Pete Best Band at the Beatles Museum in Liverpool, the hometown he never left. But now the 83-year-old has announced he's retiring. Posting on social media, "I had a blast. Thank you." Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
I mean, one of the most ironic and historical music stories of all time was Pete Best dipping out of the Beatles just before they became huge. I didn't know he was still an active musician, Deborah.
Oh, yeah, he still goes around, he still plays, and his whole thing is like, I was the first drummer before Ringo. Everyone, he always has the fifth Beatle. Everyone's the fifth Beatle.
Did he have a continued relationship with the remaining Beatles? Do you know?
I mean, I think that he has, like, met up with Ringo and Paul and maybe even George before his passing, but they've never really done anything big together. He was always like, hey, I used to be part of the Beatles.
That's I feel for that guy. I'm trying to even think of how a normal person could. There's a number of those stories where someone leaves a band and the band goes on to amazing stardom, but nothing will ever top some dude leaving the Beatles right before they become the biggest sensation in the world. All right, coming up after a quick break, updating that sad, horrible story in the Dominican Republic, the roof collapse at the nightclub there. A couple of former Major League Baseball players lost their life, including one that played for the Atlanta Braves. We'll update that in just a second. Congrats to Vicky in Douglasville. She won a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli October 11th at the Gas South Arena, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. All right, let's see how the traffic is. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Alex Williams.
Still watching this crash in Marietta in the left lane, 75 southbound below Highway 5, exit 267. Seeing some delays there, but not awful. Also, the left lane construction in DeKalb County continues, 285 north and southbound, inner and outer loop between Glenwood Road and Covington Highway. And also in DeKalb, you got the left lane construction on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp between 285 and Wesley Chapel, causing for merging delays coming off of 285. And then you got the right lane of the through lanes of I-20 eastbound also blocked as you head out toward Lithonia. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
Slow spots are starting to build up the east side perimeter on 285 north.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic
We've
Center.
had several breakdowns, including one in the express lane.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
So many different seasons here in Metro Atlanta. It's pollen season, severe weather season, tax season, etc., etc., etc. Let me add a new season. Regrow your hair season. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Advanced Hair. Amazing facility, amazing physicians, and even better, amazing results. Quick, simple, one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. Not a pill or a lotion that helps you just keep what you have on your head. Where your hair's gone, it regrows thanks to my friends at Advanced Hair. Unbelievable. If you want your hair back now, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Just takes one visit, but first, guys, you need a free consultation. Schedule now. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Advancedhair.com.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level. With teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Can you remember the last time you turned on the shower and all you got was cold water? Hopefully you don't have a fresh memory of that. Hey, it's Mark Aram. I want you to check out my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Great new deal on a new water heater. Check it out, guys. Only $29.99 a month and no payments for 3 whole months. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or you want to go tankless? It's only $59.99 a month and you can enjoy endless hot water. Think about those long, hot showers in the cold, cold winter. Their new water heater installations come with their 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. And with their Comfort as a Service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and just easy monthly payments. So new water heater, $29.99 a month, or tankless, $59.99 a month. Amazing deal. Amazing hot water, amazing service. Go online to reliableair.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why? You ever wonder why we've been a part of so many unfortunate incidents, yet we're still walking around?
That's Dennis Quaid playing Wyatt Earp. And Wyatt Earp, he turned 71 years old today. Happy birthday to one of the most underrated actors of his generation. He's been in a lot of good stuff. Any Given Sunday, Traffic, The Rookie. Remember he played the high school baseball coach came out? Yeah. Happy birthday to Dennis Quaid. Quick update, just hearing from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth down in Panama City, Panama.
We do not seek war with China. And war with China is certainly not inevitable. We do not seek it in any form. But together, we must prevent war by robustly and vigorously deterring China's threats in this hemisphere.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth in Panama today. In the Dominican, officials say at least 66 people were killed, another 155 injured in a roof collapse at a nightclub in Santo Domingo. Among those killed overnight between Monday and Tuesday, former Major League and Braves pitcher Octavio Dotel. ABC's Victor Akendo has more from Miami.
Video circulating online showing what appears to be the moments before the roof came crashing down around 12:30 a.m. This man pointing at the roof, saying something fell within seconds. Bodies on top of the rubble. First responders scaling slabs of concrete across the club floor. Authorities using heavy machinery to dig through the debris.
Apparently, they're still trying to find survivors under the rubble. Dotel was acquired by the Braves in 2007 when they traded hometown hero Kyle Davies to the Royals. Kyle went to Stockbridge High. I remember covering him when he was with the Gwinnett Braves. Before he made the major leagues. If Kyle, if you're listening, I'd love to have you on the show, catch up on how you're doing. He is now retired from baseball, but obviously a horrible story there in the Dominican Republic.
Longoria's Fact of the Day.
All right, today is National Chinese Almond Cookies. I wonder if they'll be tariffed. The round shape of the cookies, often topped with a whole almond, is said to represent coins and good fortune, making them real popular treat during Chinese New Year.
Any Chinese? No, I don't think any of the local Chinese joints get imports from China.
Probably
right?
not. And these are, Chinese American made.
Yeah, and fortune cookies is an American invention. Those,
yeah,
that's
true.
If you go to China, they'll be like, fortune cookie. What the hell are you talking about? All right, that's a weird day of the year. Chocolate. Yeah. I can't even remember the last time I've been. I guess they only serve those at fancy Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, they don't serve them at the buffets, do they?
No. Ooh, we need to go back to the buffet. That was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
That one on Beaufort Highway.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I love food reminiscing with Longoria. It's always a good time.
Now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram?
Hell of a show by everybody on the staff. Vinny crushed it. Longo crushed it. Deborah, no surprise, crushed it. You guys all get stars of the show. Peter Haralambous joined us live from New York City, updating the Supreme Court decisions. He gets a star of the show. Professor Tom Smith from the Goizueta Business School talking about tariffs. He's going to try to get me an honorary doctorate. Godspeed, Professor Smith. He gets a star of the show. We had Stacey Lynn from CBS talking about the big U.S.-Iran talk scheduled for this weekend. She gets a star of the show. Hadriana Lowenkron. She is the White House correspondent for Bloomberg News. She joins us live with the tariffs update. She gets a star of the show. Correspondent Rory O'Neill talking about the $1 trillion that U.S. Americans, that's redundant, Americans have in credit card debt right now. Good, not a good story, but a good job explaining that story from Rory O'Neill. And how about Christopher Farrar? What a fine young man, actor, former baseball or future baseball stud. He's in the new movie on Amazon Prime tomorrow, G20. He plays the president's son. Viola Davis is the star of that. And I posted my picture with him on my Instagram page if you want to give a follow there, at Mark Arum, Markarum. All right, busy news day. Eric's going to take the baton now. We'll monitor the markets and the tariff news throughout the day, and I'll be active on the social medias throughout the day as well.